Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome. This is Nick from Top Notch Sports. Today we're going to be going over the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles playoff game coming up this Sunday. I can't wait. Should be exciting. Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts. What are we going to see? We don't have an Eagles fan here today. We tried. We did our searching. Mike, where are you, man? We tried to get you on, but you didn't want to come. But we got the Niners guy on, and that's Curtis, and he's going to talk about the Niners a little bit right now. So, Curtis, what do you got? What do you think about your Niners team? Let us know.
I think that this is probably the most even matchup. I think this is the two best teams in the NFC. I think that the final four teams, I think these are the final four. These are the four best teams in the NFL. I think that this game is going to be very close. I think that the defenses are going to play a huge part in this game. I think that the offenses are both going to be struggling more than anything. And one thing I want to say is that throughout this entire season, the Niners have played games where teams have played really well in the first half against us, and then towards the second half, we just tire them out, and they no longer can keep up. So this team, I think, with the Eagles, it'll be a little different because they have more depth than anybody that I've seen. They have 3 defensive ends on the roster right now with at least 11 sacks. That means they have somebody rotating in, and he's got 11 sacks on the year. That's incredible to me. So I'm curious as to how that's going to be handled. Hopefully Trent Williams is at his best this year, so we'll see.
I'm talking on mute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
With some technical difficulties here, okay? Again, technology is not my number one thing. No, you make some great points. And again, really good edge rushers. It's anybody's, any coach's dream is to have 3 guys with 10 play. I mean, that is absolutely insane. But you can't discredit your guys too. I mean, Nick Bosa, man, coming off that edge, he might be the best pass rusher on all sides combined. Phenomenal player. And as you mentioned, 2 very, very physical teams. This is going to be a very physically demanding team. 2 hard-nosed football teams that, this is old school football here. They both like to run. Shanahan likes to do all that, that motion stuff and all that crazy. Sirianni is a little bit more, old school, just, runs. But look, at the end of the day, both teams, solid teams. I love Shanahan's creation. I think the best offensive mind in football right now. Sirianni, a lot of RPOs, read options with Jalen Hurts. It could kill you, but again, with your edge rushers, I think you'll be all right. Real fast, I do want to plug your Instagram real fast before we go further in this video. Tell them about your Instagram page. It's phenomenal, so I want to make sure you get that out there.
Yeah, so I've been running an Instagram page. It's 49ers.scouting for about 5 years now. I started it since I was in high school, so now I've used it as a hobby because I know so much about the team and I know so much about the NFL in general that I felt like it was an easier way for me to get information out there, because I do a lot of research and I don't think that some people might not want to do all that themselves. So I like to just get myself out there and just put some information, feed it to the public,
Absolutely. And like I said, you're doing a phenomenal job. I like the page. Like I said, I just found you guys lately because, again, we're going to be doing a 32 GM content creator mock draft April 15th. I can't wait. Make sure you mark it down. Don't plan anything that day. Like I said, and like I said, the Niners team, they're a solid team. But back to your page real fast, I'll tell you, it's hard work. I want to tell everybody watching. You don't want to understand. And Ashton, you too, run the Bengal page. Remind me at the end. Make sure I'll plug you in at the very end too. But it's hard work. It's a lot of hours. But again, it's because the reason we do it is because we know so much and we want to share our knowledge. And it's fun. It's fun, but it's also demanding, I think. I think we can both probably agree to that. So real fast, I'm going to read some quick numbers I gather real fast. The Philadelphia Eagles ranked number 2 in points per game, number 2 in offensive yards per game, number 15th in points per games given up by their defense. So they're 15th, right about mid-pack. And they're I think I got written down, number 3 in defensive yards allowed. So again, they let up a decent amount of yards, but they're, a bend but don't break defense. The Niners, number 6 in offense, 6 in offensive points per game, number 5 in offensive yards per game, number 5 in defensive points per game, and number 2 in defensive yards per game. According to the numbers I got written here, the Niners rank top 6 in every single statistical category possible. Here's my question to you. If Brock Purdy gets this done against Philadelphia, even if he loses in the Super Bowl, but let's say he goes on and you win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, is he your guy? What happens?
I think that he's definitely gonna become the favorite, but I think that during the offseason, there's definitely gonna be some kind of controversy. I don't think that we're gonna trade either him or Lance.
Yep.
I think that they're going to go through some kind of QB competition. I know that I have a feeling that Jimmy Garoppolo, he's gonna move on. I think that he's gonna go somewhere like Miami, or New York might need him. So I think that Purdy, if he wins an MVP, he wins the Super Bowl. That's that only tells you everything you need to know, because 1, that means he ends the season with an undefeated record. 2, the team managed to win a Super Bowl with a guy that nobody expected to ever be in that kind of position. And I gotta say, the way he plays, the way he moves around in the pocket, that's something you really cannot coach that to anybody. The way he's able to extend plays and make something out of nothing, there's only a few quarterbacks in the NFL today that can do that.
I 100% agree. That's just, you either have it or you don't have that. It's that pocket awareness, just knowing where to move around. He has it. He's one of those guys that have it, and he's looked good. He really has looked good. Ashton, I'm going to go to you. Look, now, the rest of us aren't Niners or Eagles fans, so we're just going to give you what we think. Ashton, what do you think about this game? Some points, and then, like I said, we'll do the predictions at the very end, but what are some points you want to mention?
So I wanted to talk about what Curtis said. He said how Brock Purdy can move around in the pocket. And yeah, he can just run anywhere. He's just like a younger Patrick Mahomes and more fast, but he's just runs around and gets the ball out. He just has good reads. He not really like a player that you would want on a Super Bowl team, but I mean, it's working right now. So and then you got Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. It just depends on if the big guys can make the big plays, like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, middle linebacker. But the thing is that another thing that Curtis said is Hassan Reddick and the Eagles D line with 10+ sacks on 3 D line, which is just insane. Hassan Reddick had a great year, a breakout year, I would say, and then. Yeah, they have a good secondary with Gardner Johnson, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, I think, is on that secondary, if I'm correct. But they just have a great defense. I mean, and it also comes down if the Eagles can score on the best defense in the league, in my opinion. But Jalen Hurts, I think, had a decently easy schedule this year. I don't want to be that guy, but I really do think that the regular season record is just overrated. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from him. He earned all of those wins. And AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, they're all amazing players. But I just think that if they had a season like the Bengals or the Chiefs, they would have. Because they were the bottom seed in their division, so they got easier teams. So it just depends on if the Eagles can score on the 49ers defense, and if the 49ers don't just don't sell, sell the game.
Greg, what do you think?
Both of these teams have really good defenses. That's what I think it comes down to. Simple and easy, right? For my second, I think the Eagles have the better defense overall, right? I think both teams have a great defensive line. Great. The 49ers have the better linebackers, but then the DBs for the Eagles are crazy. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, 1 and 2, I think, this year for freaking corners. They played fantastic, right? And then they added in CJ Gardner-Johnson in there. And I believe Marcus Memphis is having a pretty good season too. Everything for that team on the defense side is looking really good. I mean, it's very hard to go past that. Now, for the 49ers, I like that team. I like it. Their D-line's crazy too. They got freaking Eric Arnett. They got Joey Bosa. They got Kinlaw. I forget the other D tackle, but they got Fred Warner in the middle. They got Greenlaw on the outside. I mean, and then their corners, their safeties are pretty good too. They still got Jaquiski Tartt. Uh, they got the second year player. I can't think of his name. The Hawaiian
Ufunga.
guy. What's his name?
Ufunga.
Utanga, yeah. I mean, they got some good pieces there too. Like it's a really good matchup. I like it. I mean, it all comes down to if Brock Purdy can actually deliver the rock to wherever he needs to. That's what it comes down to. I like how he can roll out. Like how he throws. I like everything he's doing so far. I'm just waiting for him to make some of those rookie plays that it's got bound to happen something. You know, in college he had some major whoops and turnovers, so it's interesting to see if it's going to come out or not.
Yeah, and I want to touch in real fast. That's a lot of Shanahan too. Shanahan coaches one of the, I don't want to say easiest, but if you're a quarterback in that system, man, I would love to be a quarterback in that system. I mean, I could have played quarterback, but for the love of God, it is a great system to be like. And look, I mean, for Nick Mullins looked phenomenal. CJ Beathard looked phenomenal, right? So we've seen other guys look phenomenal. Purdy's doing exactly what everyone else has done, but Purdy's doing it at a pretty high level too. Tony, I want to go to you real fast. What do you think, real fast? Just some points, and then we'll go predictions right after this in a little bit.
I'm just the Eagles defense, I've seen it 3 times this season. I'm a Giants fan, they'll go in there and they'll do anything they can, they're a nasty defense to play against. And again, the 49ers have a phenomenal offense too and phenomenal defense. So we're looking at two teams that are just amazing on both sides, But I'm just worried for Brock Purdy to go against the Eagles defense. Again, like Greg said, he's a rookie. He's bound to slip up somewhere, and the Eagles will catch it. Will catch that slip up. But that's my only issue because again, like they both have a high-powered offense and great defense. Just can Purdy, you know, keep going with this whatever he's got going, like phenomenal. It's a 7th-round last pick, But that's all I gotta say.
Everyone's making good points, and something that you're hearing from everybody is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy slip up. Brock Purdy's gonna slip up. Will Brock Purdy slip up? Will Brock Purdy rookie Brock Purdy, right? Everything's Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy gets this done, okay, we're gonna all like. Listen, I'm kind of agreeing with all that hype with what Brock Purdy will slip up, right? But if he doesn't, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'll be honest with you. It's going to be interesting because he has looked phenomenal. And if he beats this defense, that's pretty dang good, right? What are you going to do? This is what I will say, okay? First thing I want to mention is this. We mentioned their good defenses. They both have very potent offenses, too. Miles Sanders is starting to get going. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Nobody even mentioned Goedert yet. Goddard's a phenomenal tight end. Jalen Hurts has been playing really good. Nick Sirianni has been doing really good, although I can't stand into the camera if he saw that and he's saying stuff on the sideline. Look, I like it, though. He's into the game, but I think every other team around the league doesn't really like him that much. There's Sirianni. Two good things for the Eagles because we got no one representing the Eagles. Number one, we already talked about their defense, but Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen. I'm interested to see what happens to those two because they might move on from Philadelphia after the season, whenever it ends. Shane Steichen being their offensive coordinator and Jonathan Gannon being their defensive coordinator. Two guys that are real young guys that are looking to possibly go elsewhere that could really blow up. And with that being stated, I also want to mention the Niners. And I want to ask Curtis, too, what do you think about D'Amico Ryans? Probably not going to be there next year. You guys went from Robert Saleh. You guys got D'Amico Ryans. Do you think you can fill in? I mean, I'm sure Shanahan will be able to fill in this need eventually, but what do you think that will do to the Niners team?
I mean, it'd be a really tough hit because I'm not gonna lie. When we have Robert Saleh, I was not the biggest fan. I thought that we drafted such a good team, and that the first year in 2019 when we really defense took off, we had brought in Chris Kasirik for our defensive line, and he brought in a wide 9 scheme, and that transformed our defense, and we still use that to this day. And honestly, I felt like Robert Saleh was a bit more carried by our talent and Chris Kosirik in that situation. And when it comes to Miko Ryans, I think that he actually has an impact, and so losing him is going to be a tough loss. I think that personally, I would like for if Chris Kosirik was capable of doing so, I would think that it would be a great option to move up to defense coordinator. If not, Vic Fangio is kind of intriguing a bit, and so is I know the Browns fans don't like him very much, but Joe Woods, I actually wanted him to be our defensive coordinator when Saleh had left. He had a really bad stint with the Browns and ended up getting fired this year, but I would love to bring him back, if not as our defensive coordinator, as our DB coach again. That would be really great for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, here we go. Final thing. I want to do predictions. I want to wrap it up with predictions. Curtis, I'll start with you. You're a Niners fan. You're probably going to lean Niners either way, but maybe not. What do you think is going to happen this game?
You know, I thought this game is going to be really close. I think this is honest, just a toss-up game. And I mean, speaking with my coworkers and friends all week, this is the matchup that I wanted, because I'm not the kind of guy that wants the easy route. All right, I want to beat the best team, to prove that we are the best. I don't want there to be any kind of questions, So, it's really it's a tough situation. Obviously, I'm believing that my Niners can take down the Eagles. I think that I would have to probably go with a score of like 24-16.
Okay, I like it. Let's go to Ashton. Ashton, what do you think?
I got the same kind of score like him. I'm going to say 27-16.
Niners?
Yeah.
Okay. Greg?
All right. What I look for in this game, I don't know why, but I feel like the defenses are actually going to collapse. I think it's going to be actually a firepower game that's going to have either a defensive turns that's turned into big points or something like that. I think it's going to be around 41-35.
Oh,
Niners.
okay.
Nice.
Oh, man. Tony, what do you got?
I'm gonna point something out that I forgot to point out earlier first. The 49ers struggled against the Cowboys last week, and the Cowboys are not anywhere near close to the Eagles. So I can see them putting up a fight still, but I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles 28-24.
Okay. Curtis, you have a response?
Yeah, I do. The Cowboys put up 40 points against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. So that's all I got to say.
All right. Last thing. It's tough. Tony, what was your score prediction?
Mine?
No,
I
Tony's.
said 28-24 Eagles, but don't forget the Eagles also didn't have Jalen Hurts that game.
All right. It's tough. Either way, the city of Philadelphia might be burning down, whether they win or lose. That's how it happens. Yeah, listen, it can go either way. Two physical teams that both have potent weapons on offense and defense. I think the Eagles are going to get after Purdy, and I think we're going to see some of those slip-ups. I'm going to go 27-24 Philadelphia, but that does not mean the San Francisco 49ers will necessarily lose this game. They have a good shot. I think both games this playoffs are good. I actually think this one might honestly end up being better, like Curtis was saying before. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. It can go either way. Has a lot of high-power offenses and defense, so it could be a 14-10 game, or it could be a 40 to whatever Greg said, 35 game. It could be either way. So I'm interested to see what happens. But that's really it. Real fast, Ashton, I want you to plug in your Bengals channel real fast. What's your Instagram page? It's a really good page as well.
Bengals_today.
Awesome. And then Curtis, one more time, plug yours in again too.
It's 49ers.scouting.
Yep. Both on Instagram. Go follow them. Really good pages. Stay tuned. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Better.